Okay, so do we ever have a video today? And the point of this video is fun because, oh my god, the fucking AI image of a black Harry Potter on the side. You know, you just gotta laugh at this whole culture war thing, don't you? I've reached the antithesis, and I knew that most people would get here if you just don't care anymore. I just don't give a fuck. And you know what? Maybe that's a word of wisdom for other people. It's just like, who gives a fuck? It's so ridiculous that you just gotta laugh at it. All the way people are just so hostile to one another nowadays. And it shows in media, it shows in everything. And I think what people need to do is just take a step back and fucking laugh about everything, because ultimately our society is just so fucking hilarious. So let's look at this. I was unbelievably this morning, actually unexpectedly, I woke up and just the shitstorm of Harry Potter all over my feeds, and you just like it's just like another fucking day of it, you know. So let's look at this. There was a rumor that they've found the Severus Snape for a new show. Didn't even know they're making a new Harry Potter show. Don't care. You know, I liked the movies in the early 2000s. They were kind of like a momentous event, and Harry Potter has gained its following for sure, because it's whimsical, it's magical, it's kind of fascinating. It has all of these aspects of Harry Potter that are just fucking wholesome. It's like Harry Potter is a nice little franchise. Like, I'll give it that. I'm not overly into it. I don't really care about the lore or any of it. It's funny, it's magically, it's that. But I mean, it's become super popular. J.K. Rowling, oh my god, J.K. Rowling's so fucking hot. I would marry her in an instant if she wants a young heiress. I will most definitely have J.K. Rowling's children. Okay, so I mean, but anyways, you have this situation where obviously people are, you know, up in arms about. You get this every day in the culture war. You know, so God, look at this. It just fucking finger bangs you with fucking ads. Speaking of Max and 11 on London, Gardner revealed the series will stick to canonical ages of Snape, who will only be 31 as well as well as the Dursleys, who will be much younger. Blah 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 blah. So it's like a younger Snape. John Lithgow as Dumbledore. It's, you know, I don't really care about any new Harry Potter material. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. But I do find this hilarious. So I mean, you have Snape, who is now going to be played by a black character, and you really got to ask yourself this: why? What does this prove? What does it help? Who does it appeal to? What is the idea behind changing Snape around? You really got to ask yourself, like, what's their accomplishment? I mean, they obviously did it for a reason. You always come to the conclusion with these things that there's got to be some reason, because otherwise wouldn't you just try and make them like in the other source material? Like, why would you have to make them a different ethnicity? For all we know, let's make a Puerto Rican fucking Snape, you know? But the Puerto Ricans aren't allowed to have that. Like, you know what I mean? So it's also, I find it also ridiculous that you almost can't logically look at it, because there's no logic behind it. And the silliness of it is that, you know, you got John Lithgow, you got a new this, you got a new that. It's not gonna do as well. You know, bring back Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter. I don't know if he's like not ever gonna do one again. but make something up. And are they going to go off the books, or are they just going to remake the whole story, or are they going to do another book? There has to be an artistic reason for that, and just making an actor a different looking person doesn't really accomplish anything. Or trying to make some kind of social justice statement, like, this is the world that we live in. It creates these online maelstroms that they have done all of this to themselves, because most people just don't care. They are, like, I'm sure there's plenty of black dudes out there who are perfectly fine with Snape being Alan Rickman. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure that they're just like, not again. I don't sympathize with you, bros, because on the other side, we're feeling the exact same thing too. We're like, oh, they just keep pouring the fuel on this fire, and we can see this fuel playing out. As if you go onto Twitter, there's an absolute shitstorm about it. Kada, we have another long line of lazy virtual signaling race swaps with Snape now being black, furthermore reinforcing they only see legitimacy in white characters and think black should seal the clap just because. This is Harry Potter show just tanked itself. Yes!
Dumbasses did it.
He's so right. See, look at this.
You know, a character that's vividly described in the
I
book
mean,
as being thin, having
and you know, I really
don't
don't care that that's their physical description of him. But I mean, it's like he said. It's like Kada said. Is it like they're trying to show that they're trying to prove some point. They're trying to prove. Look at Ryan Kindle. Ryan Kindle has just been going off about this fucking shit. I fucking love Ryan Kindle. Look at this. HBO show fans told they would be a faithful adaptation of the books, race swapping one of the most complex and important characters. So I mean, they just poured fuel on the fire, and they do these things. They like to do this. Oh, look, I'm blocked from discussing film. I think, yeah, it blocked me. And this is the type of, look at this, 7.9 views. Let's have a look at, you gotta be very careful with these comments, because the shit some people say. But it just ignites, it's like, here's the fuel, let's pour the fuel on the fire. Make a, nobody wants to see a white Django Unchained. It was played beautifully by Jamie Foxx. It's a great story. There you go. Like, make a story. Make your own story. And it just shows that there's a lot of people in making movies and TVs and film nowadays that their heart's just not in the right place, because they don't want to create something. They just want to take something, change it, and then be like, here's your new story. So, I mean, everybody's saying Adam Driver. Of course. Driver is an incredible actor. Amazing. He's a fucking amazing dude. And he does, he would look like what a younger Snape would theoretically be in our minds. So I mean, they're just the way this is explored into a, look at Kangman Lee's using fucking AI to try and figure this out. You'll never find it out. And the reason they do these things is because they just want to ignite some conversation. And this is not the way you ignite this conversation. The way you do it is through, let's all just make cool shit. Like, instead of always being at each other, can't we all just get along? Is that so much to fucking ask humanity that we all get along? No. I mean, obviously it's too much to ask. So, I mean, it goes back and forth. Paapa Essiedu nearing deal to play Professor Severus Snape in the Harry Potter series. And you get a lot of conversation online, but it's never good or constructive. It's always just We have this person, let's prop them up, give them this role because it's the right thing to do. It hasn't worked out good for TV and film. It hasn't worked out for games, it hasn't worked out for TV, it hasn't worked out for film, it hasn't worked out for anything. These people legitimately don't help the situation by trying to insert other groups in. Yeah, look at that. I mean, that would be fucking awesome. I'd actually want to watch that. And that's the type of creativity that a lot of these motherfucking cocksuckers, they just lack. They just are not. They're not in it for the right reasons. Um, it's so tiresome, and eventually people just don't care. I just don't care. I stopped caring at like fucking 2021 about this shit. It's hilarious. And now it just seems like they're almost spitefully doing it, and they want to spark these types of things because they think, and I've said this before, that they think that somehow that they are taking this online vitriol and these shitstorms of controversy, and they think that this is driving things up, but in reality it's just making people fight online, and it's just making their movie not do well, and that we've seen that trend. That's a measurable trend. Whereas when they have things like Penguin, take a look at Penguin. I mean, supporting character in that was a black kid, and blew it out of the park. Nobody complained, oh my god, they're putting it in a black in the Penguin. No, Penguin was a great show, and that was a great character, and it all just worked, and that's how you do it. To make this like it's just leading to division. Potentially this actor wants to prove something, and this was their objective, to shout out some type of social justice message, because that often has happened, as we've seen in the Doctor Who series, is that they do want to kind of change the story surrounding these characters. And you know what I mean, like the amount of shit. Here, let's go through this, but we're gonna do this very carefully, because if you all know Twitter, you know Twitter can get a bit rowdy at times. So we're just gonna be careful. Remember when no one knew who John Boyega was until he landed in Star Wars? Well, Larry Jones, Paapa Essiedu. That you could say that in a little bit of spiteful thing. You could see the spite in that one. Very authentic shows deal. Oh boy. Here, let's just go. Oh my god. Yeah, Jesse Cartman. Here, how do you search by most liked? Oh, whatever. It kind of jumbles it. Oh god. Oh man. And you see what it does? People often tag me. This Grok thing is going to cause all kinds of chaos. Yes, this person, Bandar Hub, is saying exactly what I said. It is made to stir up this in the forefront of that. It is. And it really does. Yeah, I mean, like, if we're going to go down this route, let's make just like an all black Harry Potter show with great comedians, great African comedians. It would be fucking awesome. I'd pay to go see that. If you just make like a straight up comedy, be like Harry Potter, but they're all like that. That would be actually worthy. But to try and do that in this way that they do it, it's just. It's like I said, it's become a joke, and it's become a source of just online fighting. People just fight over this 24/7 online, and it's like, we're not getting anywhere, people. We really are not getting anywhere with any of this shit. So it's like, oh man, this show is so dead. And that's what you notice, is that the reason the JD Vance memes, the reason that these shows and games and stuff fail is that for majority of people, the culture war thing just makes them uncomfortable, and it just makes it all awkward. And most people on both sides generally avoid things that are just uncomfortable, awkward. You're watching a show about, Harry Potter, and they've changed around the characters to African actors. It's just like people on both sides are gonna find that uncomfortable, and they're gonna avoid that because they don't want to deal with the culture war bullshit. They just want to be entertained. That's all they care about. That's all majority of people want to see. Is they don't want to get involved with it. They don't care about social justice. The people that do will lap it up, of course, but that's not the huge amount of the general population. Most people just want to laugh, have a good time. Like that's it. That's all they want. They don't want to be involved in this who's right, who's wrong bullshit. And it just leads to all this. And you know what? They really do. They really do try and stoke this. This grok thing is amazing. That's gonna set today on fire. Look at how many people are using that grok thing. AI is definitely here to stay. This is insanity how many people use it. So, I mean, as we were going on, I mean, let's look at the original cast of Harry Potter. It's, yeah. I mean, yeah, there we go. There's diversity in the original movies. Yes, maybe the main characters were all, British and white, fair-skinned white, but there was people, and they're saying they believe that it's taking away from something, but in reality, everyone liked the original Harry Potter. There's no reason not to like the original Harry Potter movies. It was an interesting story about a group of wizards, and they had fun adventures along the way. There was really realistically nothing about it. And this was a legendary actor, and he's died since, and I almost feel as if this HBO move is kind of a little bit discriminatory towards him as an actor, because it does really come across as they're trying to not honor his legacy. And I would say that you should, if you were going to play a younger Snape, out of respect for that character, you would have him look like a younger version of Alan Rickman. That would be, just in my opinion, that would be out of respect to him as an actor. He has died. Why are we trying to do this culture war stuff? And it's weird. Everybody is giving better better picks basically. But I mean, it just the whole thing, like many people will feel. So there's just JD Vance one. The whole thing is just very, very odd, and yeah, it's like you said. Every day there's a new fucking firestorm online over this shit, and they appear to be getting more aggressive with it, and it's almost like in a response to the anti-woke is like a more woke push. And the truth of the matter is, most people just want good movies and TVs. They don't want to be caught up in this huge culture war thing. They want to, see creativity and invention, and just taking a character and transforming him is strange. Has HBO read the Snape insults from the Marauders? Huh. And these are the exact type of people it caters to. People like no touch throw. Oh, look at this. Oh my god, look! Martial artist and music nerd. Elden Ring, Liza P. The most basic bitch games there are in gaming. Yeah, I mean, these are the type of people that this fuels. And it's that level of vitriol online that they like to circulate. And they do circulate by causing this. This creates all this. Is them trying to make people accept. People will watch what they want to watch. I mean, you can't force someone to make something that. You could never make me watch a Lord of the Rings of Power. You just couldn't. I know what bullshit it is. I'm not gonna watch them defile my beloved series like that. I'm gonna watch the other movies. That's the thing with entertainment, is it you can't force people to like something, or you can't erase something. You just can't. Once it's made forever. And they can't take anything away from the original movies by doing this. And I think that this shows the hypocrisy in a nutshell. It's like, out of respect for the character who passed away, who played them previously, this would be seen as a massive problem. Imagine the outrage. And that's the truth of the matter. Is just imagine the outrage. And you can see that there's two sides to this, and that's how we have to look at it. Look, 16 notifications. I made it my mission to trigger a bunch of people today, and they've certainly accomplished that. It's really good. Snape at least helped redeem us a little bit. So I don't know. This is the truth of the matter. Is that we know that after the whole Trump thing, that this has not gotten better. In fact, there's an opposite side to this where they're going to push even more, and they're going to create even more divisions. And I think what we need to do is both sides need to just take a step back and say, okay, this is ridiculous. What is it accomplishing? What is it accomplishing other than sticking a stick in someone's face saying, see what I can do? I can do it. Sticking a little wand in their face and going, hey, look at, I got a black Snape now. Like, it's just gonna fuel division online. It's just gonna fuel loss of viewership and sales. A lot of people who just don't want anything to do with the culture war. They just want to watch cool stuff. Oh, it's a sign of our times. It is a sign of the times. Oops. It's a sign of the times. It really is. It's a sign of that, Harry Potter was a great movie when it came out. And look at how the world has divulged into nowadays. So, I mean, you would expect they would honor Alan Rickman. You would expect that they do what they do, but in the end, you just got this. You just got this boom headlines. Snape's been recast. Hundreds of thousands of fights online over calling each other racists, and like, what is the end goal here with this? Why can't we appreciate and accept that, in the 80s, there was amazing black actors that made amazing artwork, like The Thing. And to try and say that, everybody needs to be shown and represented in all forms of media across everything is just because they've been somehow kept out of that, discredits all the work that has been done by amazing actors, amazing black actors over the years. Because the world is diverse. It's just naturally there's going to be a lot of people all together. And if you try and like just make it so that make it seem like someone else has it so bad, you're discrediting all the people who have put in the work over the years, who have done it and become successful. you know Actors like Keith David and Wesley Snipes, who have done incredible things. Are you going to just say that all their work over all these years didn't mean anything? And that's really the tragedy of all this culture war stuff, is that there is seriously an artistic problem with this. Because if you just take something and redo it over for the sake of that it was never done before, you're not making something new. You're not creating anything new. What you're doing is just recycling something and causing a shitstorm online. And that's what this has done. This is exactly what's done. We've seen it happen hundreds of times. We've seen it happen so many times. And I just had to bring that point up because it's so true nowadays. It's just like you're just like another one. Like it's like Cleopatra one day, and then it's like what's next? Are we gonna get Vin Diesel as from Riddick is now like gonna be that way? So I mean, where does it end? And it's like it's those types of things that I think are positive for the world. Is that it's positive to say, you know what? I mean, changing this around like this is just going to make people unhappy. It's just going to cause people not to watch the show. It's going to be this big controversial thing. The actor is going to be another one of those many actors who has got into a role that caused people online to erupt in this firestorm of controversy. So at the end of the day, they actually kind of hurt the cause they were trying to help out in the first place. And that's just the truth, unfortunately. And that's my video.